Welcome back to the Advanced Selling Podcast, the longest running sales training podcast in the world of podcasting. I'm Bill Caskey.
I'm Bryan Neale over here.
And we release an episode for those of you who are fairly new and don't know us every Monday morning. We've got a brand new episode, and we've been doing that for nearly 17 years. In fact, we're coming up on 17-year anniversary is in September.
Yeah.
And of course, 17's a big one.
It is. I mean, we got podcasts, cicadas. What else comes in 17?
Podcasts, cicadas, graduation from high school.
17. Yeah, that's about
it.
It's
a prime number, I think.
I wonder why that's good. I love prime numbers. I wonder why. I'm curious about the cicadas, though. I mean, I don't want to get us off a big tangent here, but the 17-year cicada is a thing. We had the 17-year cicada hatch a few years ago, right? So we're waiting again.
I don't know. That's a mystery. I think it's a mystery to anybody who tries to explain it to you.
Yeah. I'm sure we have someone is it an etymologist? Is it a bug person? Is it
I think so.
ETY etymologist, I think. I bet somebody in our listening tribe either is or has a friend who's an etymologist who can explain, or dare we pull fact checker Doug out of the woodwork after all these years, 17 years, Doug Drozen gets back in the game of fact checking our 17-year cicada. So I had went on a little vacation. I mentioned that last episode. Quick getaway, flew Southwest, and I fly Delta Airlines.
One quick correction.
Sorry, yes, please.
An etymologist is somebody who studies the origin of words.
Oh shoot! What? Yes. What's the bug?
I don't know. I don't know.
There's a bug one too, isn't it? How I feel.
Unless you are thinking about studying the word cicada.
I'm not.
Is that what you meant?
Interested? I'm not. No, but I'm pretty sure it's a Latin derivative.
Could be. And
shout out to Brenda Waddle, my Latin teacher.
Latin teacher. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's look at. So we have to do this now.
Study of bugs.
Study of bugs, right? Study of insects is entomology. Entomology, not etymology.
Okay.
Entomology. Entomologist is a study of insects. So
you were close. You were close.
It's right there. Entomologist. If you have an entomologist in your family. So I digress. We were flying Southwest. I fly Delta for football, so you know how that goes. You get status and blah, blah, blah. I fly Southwest for convenience. I love Southwest. A lot of people complain about it.
I don't mind it. Yeah.
But we were lining up, and you know how you line up, right? At Southwest, it's great. Like everyone's very friendly, very nice. Like, what are you? I'm, A15. Okay, cool. I'm 16. I'm right behind you here. Always. And it's a little tight. You're just like, so we're standing there, and the little podium, the bars are like 1 to 5 back, right? And 6 to 10. So this guy walks up with his wife and his daughter. It's kind of like a scowl on his face. And he looks at me and goes, what are you? Just like that. What are you? I go, A11. He turns his back to me and goes, back there. And so I'm like, okay.
Are you serious?
Totally. And I was right behind him. He was like A10. And it's too close. And then he was like backing up into the little area. And I'm like, whoa, bro. He like bumped into me. And I was like, I should not, I was like, geez. And he turned around and glared at me again. I'm like, sorry, dude. I thought I was in your way there. I'm backing up here. And then it's like this crowd, the woman behind me is like, what's up with them? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. So I just wonder sometimes, I always applaud the Southwest traveler because everyone is very friendly. And for the first time I had my, the guy who was in charge of lining everyone up properly in the Southwest deal. I just sent a little prayer for the guy. I'm like, hope his day gets better. It was rough. My wife did validate me and say his wife was chewing his butt for being so mean to people. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
you just never know. Something's going on.
There's the origin of that right there.
But, it's just that it just lacks a little common sense. We can't all fit there. Everyone's got bags and stuff. So you just get in line. And you know what? If you're A11,
I don't care.
And someone in front of me is, A13, there's one person. I'm like, who cares? It's not going to change.
And you've probably paid $30 or something to be first.
Yeah, to go up to A
priority
16. So it's fine. Like whatever we're going to get. Yeah, it's
not like you have
I don't know
deplorable C's coming into your.
I don't think so. No, it's not like the middle seat people. Those middle seaters who are coming down the full flight. There's kind of nowhere to go but the middle. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. I love the psychology of the Southwest boarding process. It's very interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never experienced that, but yeah, he is having a bad day. So a little prayer for him, a little.
Yeah, hope it goes better. But if you're flying Southwest, you know what I mean. If you're a Southwest frequent flyer, just be kind, as they say in today's world. Just be kind. Be kind. It's true.
Be kind, because you don't know what other people are going through.
No, gotta let him be. And then he got a great seat. Let me tell you, the guy. I mean, they were right in front of us. Great seat for the flight. I mean, could have been better. No, but I intentionally. There was an open row behind him. I couldn't sit behind him just in case. I was still like, I gotta go sit over on the other side.
I was questioning your strategy, sir. Now,
exactly.
I don't question it.
Well, and then the snarky side of me said, maybe I should sit behind him and like do like a 2-year-old, like, keep ending up kicking his seat and pulling the little tray down really hard and aggressively and putting it back up and all this stuff and sneezing and stuff. Anywho.
All right.
So let's do a topic. Yeah.
You had a topic, and I think it's a good one, and we're going to kind of be making this up as we go a little bit, but I do think it's a topic that is relevant to almost everybody listening today.
Yes. And this topic came from my coach. His name is David Meltzer. He's a salesperson, a leadership coach. And we started getting into this subject about sales environment, what it's like in the economy right now for salespeople. And he brought up this idea. He said, I want you to think about this. I'm like, okay, I'll think about it, and then I'll give it to Bill, and he'll think about it. So we'll all think about it. And that is the idea of we're cutting back, or the cutback. And we're hearing this, and several of our clients, I'm sure yours are too, Bill, are hearing this, both from existing clients who say, hey, it's renewal time for the contract, or something. Hey, Bill, I want to talk to you. We're cutting back, And we're hearing it from new clients, new logos that say, we're just not going to do anything right now because we're cutting back. We're just hearing this cutting back. And Dave's challenge to me was, how do you teach people to become the cutback? How do you teach them that you are part of the cutback? Whether it's an existing client or a new client, when you hear that. And I think giving some voice to how to prepare for that would be a really good thing for our episode today.
So when you say cutback, you're referring to budgets, expenditures being cut back?
That's the common, when you say this to people, that's what they think. I think there's more to it. I also think there's a cutback of time investment. So we've seen this where we say, hey, we're spending a lot of time coaching and training. We need to get out. We didn't make sure we're taking some of that time and spending it on customer visits and things like that. And I'm like, okay, really? Like, do you want me to follow you around with a GoPro camera and audit your time? Because I bet you're wasting a lot of it, So I think it is a little bit of that. And then I don't know if it's also just general pruning. So like people might have, 15, 18 software providers, and they're looking at that going, we don't use half of these, right? So let's just it's not necessarily even about them, because one of the software companies might be, $10 a month. And you're like, well, it's not that much money. It's just not about that. It's about cleaning house,
Which I think slowdowns generally lend themselves to that cleaning out the cupboard and pruning back things that you're just not really using. And so, but the first question I would always ask is that an excuse for something else that maybe the sales organization is doing or not doing that is giving the customer the chance to cut? Are you expendable? Like I know in our businesses, you and I, with what we do, we'd like to think we are not expendable, that they're constantly on a quest for new business, new sales, lead generation, better sales process, better skills. But if they don't see it that way, then they may cut that. And ours is not an insignificant monthly fee to cut.
Truth.
If you're a company. So the question is have we lost sight of why we're even there in the first place? And then it's easier to use the knife on us because we're not really providing the value, or we're not talking about the value we're providing.
Love that. Yeah, I think sometimes in existing relationships, we tend to assume motive never changes. Motive always stays the same year after year. We know that that's not the case. We also know that in a slowdown or headwind economy, that motive changes quicker than it does when we're cooking along, no problem. And so that's a good to do. And I might just be restating what we've already said, Bill, here is how regularly are we going back to test motive? Even are we the ones that are bringing up new motive? I think we really make ourselves a good partner. When I say, hey, Bill, heading into the back half of the year, here's what y'all need to be doing that you're not doing with me.
Yeah.
We've been doing this thing. We need to stop. We need to do that, but we're also going to do deal inspection.
Yeah.
You tell them what they need to do before they say, "Hey, Bill, we're cutting back. I'm not, trying to save some money here."
I think that's the key right there. I think we could talk about this topic all day, but if you are not bringing up ideas to help them grow their business top line, cut their cost bottom line, or efficiency in doing both of those, then you're not of much value to them.
Right.
And I think we all need to. I mean, I know this is a good topic for me to ask myself, am I really providing the kind of value that I said earlier that I want to provide?
Yes.
And if I'm not, how can I re-engage that and come up with whether it's a 90-day plan or whether you talk to the CEO or the president and say, look, we're getting ready to plan next 90 days. What's on your agenda? What's on your mind? If we don't, it's too easy for that CEO to say, why are we paying Neale, Caskey, whoever all this money?
100%. Yeah. We have to be the ones. We have to be more assertive in this process to say, here's why you're paying me, and here's why you should keep paying me, and here's what we should do with the time and the knowledge that we've got to share with you. We should do this instead of that. Without question.
Because there's always a way to ratchet up the value. There's always a way. There's no way you are delivering. I don't mean you, Brian, or me, but you as a listener. There's no way you're delivering all the value that you bring. Just no way, because it's almost not feasible to do that. So maybe because you're listening to this episode, you go back and take your top 10 accounts and say, are they really using me in the best possible fashion? And I'll bet your answer 80% of the time is close, but they could be doing a little more. And so you've got to bring that to them.
Yes. And what I see people do in slowdown or resistance, or we're cutting back economies, is they actually do the opposite. They go a little bit more turtle shell defensive, like don't say anything, don't bring it up because I don't want to alarm them. And we should be doing the opposite. We should be running into the danger here. It's very, very important to do that.
Yeah.
So the other thing, another subject here is think about your offering, your core offering, whatever that is. And whether you could sell software, you could be a service provider, whatever that is, and ask yourself, is my core offering, and I know, Bill, you're a fan of this, is it packaged in a way that addresses a cutback or a slowdown? And so when people say, we're cutting back on our IT spend, do you have a programmatic thing that goes, that's actually great. That's what we're doing right now. So we have bundled some services together and put them into a cost-effective, cost-efficient manner for people that are cutting back, so that you're not spending huge amounts of money, still getting the value and security that you need, blah, 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 and then it becomes a product. So think about product and packaging. Is it positioned in a way and bundled in a way that addresses the market need right now? And if it's not, how can you do that? Past just like marketing spend, just same product, saying a different thing. But I would really look at your product offering and say, do I have something that addresses a slowdown?
I think when I hear you say that, that's a good one, because I think, so if somebody was listening and they called me and said, hey, I want you to train my sales team, and I would say, okay, you bring them into the office every week, and I'll fly in every week, and we'll do a 2-hour training, and then I'll fly back. We'll do that for a year.
Right.
Or we'll bring him in once a month.
Yeah.
That offer doesn't reflect the times that we're in. We're in times where everybody's virtual, and we're going to do it virtually. We're not going to come in unless maybe we do it once or twice during the year as a special occasion. But your offer must reflect the times that we're in. And the times that we're in your scenario is we're in cutback times. We're in a little bit of headwind. So does your offer, can you tweak it? Can you change it to reflect that, so that you're on the leading edge of this, not being cut back by it or from it or to it or of it?
And I love your example. Such a simple one, but people just don't think that way. Like, well, they've always sold the thing. Like, we come out, we do this, we're 3 days on site and everything. And you say, why do we have to do that every time? Is that ideal? Yes. And can we have a different offering? Yes, we can. We can have a virtual offering. I think that's really, really important. We've been rearranging the order of tools that we teach and putting the higher value tools and the current market condition tools that work the best up front, where in the past we always went in the same order. Well, now we're going, hang on a second. there's some things that they don't usually learn until the 6th month that we
Right.
need to bump way up because of the environment that we're in right now. Stuff
That's
like
interesting because I'm doing the exact same thing,
that. Really?
looking at the order of how I deliver curriculum and rearranging it. Because sometimes, you're probably better at teaching something in month 7 than you were 2 years ago. And that being better is better for them. And you need to move that up because you're a better teacher of it. You got better examples, better tools. And so why would I wait until month 7 to teach that? It's relevant enough. And then along with that, this idea of what are some tools that people need in a headwind economy, and let's move those up front.
Absolutely. Yep. And when we ask ourselves, why do we wait till month 6 or 7 to teach that? It's because that's what we've always done.
Yeah.
That's always been the order of things. It's always gone in order. I'm like, well, does it have to? No. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
You got one more?
I was thinking you also talked about once they say to you, well, we're not buying things like you sell anymore because we've cut back. This is for a non-existing client. So somebody calling on cold, brand new, and they immediately drop into, we're cutting back. What do you do with that? And I think you have to, in some way, have them define what that means. Because it can mean a lot of things. It means we're laying off half of our workforce, like Twitter did or like Google has. It could mean we're just looking for 5% cuts in 10 areas. It can mean a lot of things. And until you know what it means, it's hard for you to play into it.
Yes. I love the idea for a communication or an example, a framework for someone to think about this. And I know we've talked about this before on the podcast, is think about spectrums versus binary language or examples. So to be absurd, someone goes, we're cutting back. I'm like, you guys going out of business? You shutting the doors down? No. So that's the far end of the spectrum. Bed Bath & Beyond closing the doors. Right?
Yep.
No, we're not going that far. Okay, so where are we going then? Take me through that's a spectrum. So shutting a place down, that's the biggest form of cutback there is. You're not going to exist anymore. Move me forward to where you are, where you've been. And then somewhere in there, well, no, we're not going that bad. And then you're into your things you talked about, Bill. We're 10% reduction here or that, or whatever. But I think sometimes salespeople tend to see things as binary, meaning, oh, we're cutting back. Oh, that means they're not, we translate that to they're not spending any money on IT. If I sell IT stuff, like that's not what they said.
No.
That's not what they said. Because if they did that, then you'd say, so you're ripping all computers out, all infrastructure. You're going to you're going to pencil paper. No, that's not what I mean. Oh, okay. So you're not cutting back 100%.
That's a little rough, but okay.
You wouldn't mind though, the pencils.
Are you at the, I wouldn't. Got my H8 hard black right here.
I love it. See?
You could even say, now when you say cutting back, are you cutting back at the Blockbuster end of the spectrum?
Right.
Are you going all the way there?
Last night I saw a Family Guy episode where what's the dad's name on Family Guy?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Watch it. It's unbelievable. It's still on TV. Anyway, they drove across the country to have a family movie night to the last Blockbuster is in Bend, Oregon. It's still open.
Oh, really?
Absolutely hilarious.
Oh,
check out that episode. It's very fun.
That's good.
Anywho, so it's a great example. Are you Blockbuster cutting back? It's really, really good.
So part of this too is, are you clear about your offer?
Yes.
Are you clear about that offer? And have you, like you started with, Brian, have you tweaked it? And when you explain or describe the offer, are you clear about it? I've been doing a lot of work with my clients on this whole idea of an offer. An offer sounds like buy one, get the second one free. That's not an offer in the business to business space. The offer is what are you going to do? What kinds of results are you anticipating? What are the guarantees? What's the process they're going to go through? Just be crystal clear about that. And you can then add in this headwind, this headwind thing, which is cutbacks, and you can deal with it before it becomes a problem.
Yes. And that repackaging and that repositioning of whatever your offering is can be modified directly to speak to that, to say, this is what we do. When we get companies in a cutback headwinds, we teach these 3 tools. We get so good at them, we can't miss them. We make them cultural. We install them. We audit them. That's what you need to be doing with us right now. Yeah. Because people, if they're not going all the way to zero, so like in our business, you wouldn't say, so you're going to like no sales at all? You don't want any new sales? No. We want no new sales. We're good. Okay. So we need to get really good,
Get it clear. Yeah.
really good at getting new sales. These are the things you need to do with Bill and with Brian to get really good at new sales right now.
That's
and
good.
people that buy that strength. So
make
the
sure.
cutback. We're the cutback. I love
Make
it.
sure, you should want that. You should want your customer to say that.
See
Once
that.
you know how to handle it, they'll stop saying it.
100%.
Go to advancedsellingpodcast.com/LinkedIn to join our 15, 13, whatever, 1,000 people there. You can also find out more about our Insider, which is a monthly coaching program that we do. It's coming up here the first Friday of the month. And you can go to advancedsellingpodcast.com/insider. There's a video there that explains the whole thing. And I think you would get a lot of value out of it.
Loads. All right.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.